When the attack is occurring, you know, it depends on how we look at this. Like, we could just say, okay, we'll let him attack, but is there anything we would, like if a fellow was punching me, would I go, or would I go, whoa? He would have avoided. So when he's going to try and, you know, this is what I'm going to try and do. Chin goes down, I'll turn away from it. But when I turn away from it, you know, this, and then I got him like that. The other thing is that it sets my striking line up much quicker.
It's the start of the initial departure, just for using your hands.
Yeah, well, intellectual departure, yeah, same idea. Good. Well, Tom.
Be sharp.
Be sharp,
Yeah, it's good.
You know that idea, so you pull in like that, chin goes down and you're checking, you're not letting it happen. And then you got him up like that. So rather than say, okay, choke me, you know, it doesn't add up. You know, it's like you're saying punch me, you're going block, but what did you need to do? You have to get into some safer posture. So we tend to do, most techniques, we tend to change direction. So this, now, if the choke is well applied, then you're not changing any posture. But the idea with this attack, he's trying to get you, and you got him like that, and then you have him, and then that's where you...
So you see more as an attempted grasp than a really put-on choke?
Yeah, it's like, well, do we train punch techniques? I said to Don a moment ago, like... At what point did you stop the punch? You know, you have to be realistic. No, I mean, if someone has a full choke on you, what's going to happen?
You're going to get choked.
Choke, you're going to be choked, you know. So what you have to do is that people say, okay, let's stand where you're down, stay around. Hang on. Okay, get out of that! You know, all right. So you have the guys coming. How many points of when he starts up to here? When should you react?
His arms coming forward, smack him.
Yeah, as soon as possible. So you sort of sense what he's trying to do. Boom, and you got him like that. So that's when you should react, rather than let it go up. Okay, he's got, okay, now do it. Well, if you start a technique at that point, it's like as if, okay, I'm just about to fall off the cliff. I'm gonna hang. I'm just gonna go and just okay. Now, how do I stop this? You know, you've let it go too far. And you know, it's like a guy. So okay, you see fellas go, why knife techniques? Okay, the guy has a knife to your throat. He's just going to cut it. There's a bit of blood coming out. What do we do now? Well, you're dead, man. You know, okay, you might be able to do something out here, but if you've allowed the attack to get that far, there are some possibilities. It's probably better to go to the ground, so his leverage is changed for a couple of seconds and he gets some more. So if he has a choke on, he gets this tie here, it might be better to sort of collapse and fall down so that he has to change orientation, and in that orientation change you can get a hit on him or get a leverage position or whatever. But in terms of dealing with the choke, you've let it go too far. And the technique has its built there, it's not going to do the job for you. You know, so if Don's about to be choked out, his opportunities then would be to change my leverage position, which could be completely different to, now with a lot of times with chokes are coming on, you know, a lot of times it's the elbow control. You know, so like in knife attacks, if you manipulate on the elbow sometimes can help a lot. Just pushing and taking the elbow away. But I think in terms of, you know, he should be training this from an optimum position, so he tries to get in, and that's what you want there. That's where you want to be coming from. You know, and if you allow your time, if your training regime makes it that you're training it just before you go, and that's when you want to react from. Well, the risk is too much. You're taking it's like driving a car and there's an oncoming car and you say, okay, I can do this. You go across. You know, that's just too risky. You can do it if you know. Probably get arrested, number one. Number two, eventually you're going to get you won't pull it off. It'll be bad timing. That's what it is. Okay. Now, saying that, on the extension, when you go here on the extension, you go down here, boom, and he doesn't want to let go. He's sort of locking up, and he has you up like this, and your chin is down, but he doesn't want to do it. This is where you're hitting to the lower regions with that idea. That's what happens on the extension. You basically here, and you shovel up and you attack the lower base. So what the extension works off is that you basically, your chin is down, he's really pointing up, and you blew it. You blew it. Now, if your chin was down and you do it here like that, like, you know, one of the things that you know, if you think about, if you think about like in, protecting fans or whatever, because if he's like this here, these palm on the elbows will take it out. And then you've got protecting fans or destructive twins and pop off like that. So those elbow controls work very good. So nothing is outable. But often if you're competing with somebody who feels if he has a good technique and he's a good grappler, you've left it too late. Okay. Any questions on that one? Okay. Evading the storm. Okay, we did cover this yesterday, we will cover it again today. What we said was, give us a nice baton there. Good, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, do evading the storm. Okay. Okay, alright. More than likely what happens to most people, it's like you lose your timing on weapons very quickly. What happens is that you're reacting to hand speed and the weapon has what? The weapon has, you look at the weapon, it has the hand speed, but because it's an outer circle, it's much quicker. So if you're if you're training a lot with hand reactions, and then you go to weapon reactions, it's much quicker. So what you need to do with weapons is it's maneuvering number one, and then first number two, the quicker he stops just here, isn't it? Would that be the reality? He would probably, the energy would go right through. Okay, so that's the kind of thing. So when you're doing a weapon, that's what should be happening. That's really should be happening. Okay? So what should happen is you sidestep them, and there's your ball kicker into the salt, and then everything else is, we're in this position, and take them off or take them away. Okay? So that's the way I would think it. Now, when he was off ball kick, and then you come down, we're into this, and it's really attacking mace. Now, what I like to train with our guys is we're in here, we got control, we go for this punch here, and he takes a swipe at me with the other hand. Now, what happens is, I don't want to lose this control, but he takes that swipe, but as he tries to take that swipe, take him out, cut that out of there. And then I come back, if he still has the weapon, I reach in, I hook, and I arm, and I take it away like that. So I tend to add in those extra punches, and whenever this guy doesn't want to go down, he wants to fight me. Okay, so make sure you sidestep. You have your position, your ball kick into the ribs. You check off here, you hit him. Now if you guys think that you can sort of go, pick that out of the air and chop, with checking the storm and evading the storm, if he's coming on a circle like this, and you're coming on a circle like this, your circle should at some point meet his circle. So what can happen, he sweeps it in, this can happen like that. So, as he passes, his circle flies past you, your circle goes, and there you go. You see the idea? This way, he goes that way. You should cut his circle at some point. Okay? Now, if you're lucky enough, step in, stop right there, and you have a well-trained Kenpo attacker. And when he attacks you in the street, he knows exactly when to stop. So he comes in and stops right there. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, the reason I won't put the kick in here is why.
Smash your leg with a
It's
glove.
actually kneecap or shin bone. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so if you're realistic, you're there. And I don't really have to cut or take his hand. I just have to be in a position that it's there if it needed. If he takes a swipe back at me, I'm ready for it. And then I can hit it, then I can take it. And then if you're in that position where you're, after you've done the punch, and you're trying to control him, he takes that swiping punch around, which is, if you're trying to control this arm, what would he like you to do? Use the other arm, so that gives you the lock off, and then you control, and then this arm like so. Okay, try that guys.
Yeah.